Hi everybody, I'm Pia from Stitches and Scraps. Today I'm going to show you how to make the Summer Sunset Coaster. This video goes along with a full written pattern and chart. You'll find the link to the pattern and the chart in the description on this video if you're watching it on YouTube, or in the blog post itself if you're watching this directly on my blog. I'll be using Lion Brand 24/7 cotton, which Lion Brand did send me for free for a previous project, in the colors Goldenrod, Tangerine, and Denim. For row 1, we're going to chain 2 and make 6 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So chain 1, 2, and then 6 single crochet into this second chain from the hook. Now, since I don't use a slip knot to start my work, this ends up working just like a magic circle. If you prefer to make a magic circle or some other way of starting the center of a circle, you're welcome to use any way that works for you. You just need a tight circle with 6 single crochet in the center. There are my 6 single crochet. I'm going to tighten up my circle, and now I'm going to join with a slip stitch in the first single crochet. And that is round 1. For round 2, we're going to start with a chain 1, and we're going to single crochet and then chain 1 in every stitch around the circle. So chain 1 just to get up to the height. That doesn't count as a stitch. And in every stitch around the circle, we're going to single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 times around the circle, and join with a slip stitch in our first stitch. And there you have round 2. Starting with round 3, we're going to start working into 2 rows below. So round 3 is going to be here. This is 1 row below, and round 1 is 2 rows below. So we've already worked into the stitches, right? But we're going to work into the same bottoms of the stitches as we did for round 1. There's no need to chain since we're working below where we are now. If you look at this stitch that I joined into, the feet of the stitch are right here. Do you see that opening right there where the feet of the stitch go? That's where we're going to work into for our first stitch. So I'm just going to make a double crochet right there. And we're going to put 2 double crochet in each of these stitches. And notice that I'm working around the stitches from the previous row. They're getting caught inside the stitch that I'm making. So they're not behind or in front, they're inside. So I've got 2 double crochet now into that stitch. I'm going to chain 1, and then 2 double crochet in the next stitch on row 1, which is right there. And then chain 1, and 2 double crochet in the next stitch from row 1, and so on and so forth around the whole round, and I'll come back to you at the end. So I've reached the end of round 3, including that final chain 1, don't forget that. And now normally you would want to join into the first stitch of round 3, but in this pattern we're going to be working into rows below. So I'm going to go ahead and join my next round I'm going to join the end of this round to start my next round in the round below. So for the next round we're going to be working into the stitches of round 2. So I'm going to find where I joined round 2. Do you see that? That's the slip stitch right there where I joined round 2. I can either join into the slip stitch, or I can join into the stitch where the slip stitch is worked into, so the first stitch of round 2, which I think that's what I'm going to prefer to do. So you can see where I've joined right there in that first stitch of round 2. I'm joining with a slip stitch, and that is the end of round 3, and I'm all set up to work round 4 2 rows below into the stitches of round 2. So let's go ahead and start round 4. Round 4 is going to work into these stitches of round 2, and we're going to be making groups of 3 double crochet in each of the stitches. Not the chain 1 spaces, just the stitches. Now, if your placement is a little bit off and you end up in the chain 1 spaces instead, it's probably not even going to be noticeable, so don't worry about it. As long as you're consistent, you're fine. I'm going to start in the center of one of these 3 double crochet groups. So the first thing I do is chain 3 to make a double crochet. So that counts as my first double crochet. I'm going to do 1 more double crochet in the same spot, and when I end the round, I'll come back and put the 3rd double crochet right there. So now I've got 2 double crochet. I'm going to chain 2 between my groups, and then I need to find, so this is the stitch that was under those 2 double crochet. Now I need to find the next stitch from the round, which is under these 2 double crochet, and there it is. You see that stitch? That's the one that I'm going to work into for my next double crochets. So right there, notice that I'm working over the chain space so that it's caught up inside my stitch, and I do 1, 2, 3 double crochets into that same space right there, that same stitch. All right, chain 2 to get to the next one. We've worked under this group, so now we go under this group and find that stitch. Where's that stitch? There it is. Do you see the feet of the stitch right there? Let me zoom in a little. There you go. Right there are the feet of the stitch. So I find the top of that stitch, and that's where I'm going to work my next double. So 3 double crochet into this stitch. Chain 2 and do it again, and we're going to keep doing that. I've done 2 full groups here. I've got 1, 2, 3 more to do, and then we'll do that last stitch that goes into our half group that we started. All right, I've made my last group of 3 double crochet. I'm back to my starting group. I've done my chain 2, and now I need to make 1 more double crochet in that same spot where I started to finish off this 3 double crochet group here. And then I'm going to join. But I want to change colors for the next round, so I've gone ahead and cut the end of this color to give myself a tail, and I'm going to do the join in the next color, which is tangerine. So I've got my tangerine, I'm leaving a tail, and I'm going to join into that 3rd chain of this chain 3, which is the top of that double crochet. So I do my slip stitch with the tangerine, give my tails a tug, and I'm going to weave those tails in later. And that is the end of round 4. For round 5, we're going to be working into these stitches of round 3. And we're going to put a chain 2 space between each of our groups of stitches. We're going to work groups of 2 stitches into each of these stitches from round 3. But I want to start with a chain 2 space. So how do you start with a space? Well, I'm going to make 1 chain to get up to the height and then 2 chains for the space. So those 3 chains are going to count as my first chain 2 space. Now I'm going to work 2 double crochet into this first stitch here. Again, notice that I'm not going in front of the chain space. I'm going around the chain space, okay? Or the chains of the chain space. So I put 2 double crochet into this stitch. And between each group, I'm going to do 2 chains. So chain 2, and then 2 double crochets into this stitch. Okay, chain 2, 2 double crochet into this stitch. Chain 2, 2 double crochet in this stitch. I'm going to keep doing that all the way around until I'm back to the beginning. Okay, I've made my last group of 2 double crochet. I have not done 2 chains because we started with the chain space this time. So remember when you join, to join as though it's a space, not into one of the chains, okay? So we're going to join right into that space to finish round 5. Now you're thinking, okay, well, there's this chain that's sitting here that looks kind of bad, right? Don't worry, after round 6, you won't see it anymore. Because for round 6, we're going to be working into the center double crochet of each of these 3 double crochet groups, and we're going to start right here. So I'm going to chain 1 to get up to height, okay? And then I'm going to put 2 double crochet into this center double crochet of that group. So 1 and 2. And now that starting chain is completely hidden. So between our 2 double crochet groups, I'm again going to have 2 chains. 1, 2. Okay. And I'm also going to put, so I'm going to put 1 in the center of each of these 3 double crochet groups, but I'm also going to put 1 here. So there's going to be 1 new 2 double crochet group between each of the old 2 double crochet groups. Okay. So going down here between these groups, do you see this chain space? That was the chains that were on round 4 between our groups of double crochet. That's where I'm putting my next group here. So in that chain space, I'm doing 1, 2 double crochet. Okay, chain 2. Come back here, we've got a group of 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go in the center one and do 2 double crochet. Chain 2, find the chain space in the middle and do 2 double crochet into that chain space. Chain 2, find the middle double crochet here and do 2 double crochet there. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way around. So there's 2 double crochet between each of the 2 double crochets that we made before, and they're going alternately into a chain space below or into the second double crochet of a 3 double crochet group below. So I'll go all the way back around and I'll catch up with you here. Okay, I've worked into my last chain 2 space 2 rows below. I'm skipping these stitches on the current row. I'm skipping this first stitch of this 3DC group, and I am ready to join with my first double crochet. But I'm also ready to change colors again. So once again, I've cut a tail on my orange, on the tangerine color, and I found my denim, and I'm going to join with the denim. So there is my first stitch. Oops, got an extra loop there. There we go. There's my first stitch. And I'm going to join with the denim and pull my tails tight. Yeah, find my tails, pull them tight. And that is the end of round 6. We have 1 more round to go before our coasters are finished. Round 7 ties everything together. So we're not only going to be working into the stitches 2 rounds below, but we're also going to be working into the stitches of the previous round, 1 round below. So we're going to start with a chain 1, and now when we're working into 1 round below, into round 6, we're going to do a single crochet into each stitch. When we're working 2 rounds below into round 5, we're going to do a double crochet into each stitch. And that is the entire pattern for the last round. So I've done my chain 1. I'm working into these stitches, which are 1 row below. So I'm going to do a single crochet. And I just tucked the tails up under there just to keep them from getting loose and floppy on me. So there's 1, and here's another single crochet. Oops, I've hit a chain space. Okay, now I need to work into the stitches below. So when I do that, I'm doing a double crochet into each of those stitches. 1 more time, I'm going around the chains so they're caught up inside of my stitch. So these are double crochets. Then I'm back to stitches on the previous row, so I do single crochets. And that's it for this round. It's single crochet in the stitches on the current row, and double crochet in the stitches 2 rows below. And it's 2 and then 2 and 2 and then 2. Like that. 2 singles, 2 doubles, 2 singles, 2 doubles. All the way around, and I'll come back to you at the end of the round. I've finished my last 2 stitches and I'm ready to join. Now I could join with a slip stitch, but I'm going to show you a slightly more invisible way to join. go ahead and cut your yarn and fasten off here without joining. And then what we're going to do is we're going to mimic the look of one of these stitches, that V shape on the top, with the tail to complete the circle. So these V stitches, they come out of the middle of a stitch, they go around the legs of the next stitch, and then back down into the middle of the starting stitch. So this one's already coming out of the middle of this one, right? So we need it to go under the legs, both legs of this one. So I've insert my hook underneath both legs of this stitch, and I'm just pulling the tail through. Okay, and then where did it go after it went under? It went back down where it came from, right? Now I also like to catch one more loop in the back just to make it extra secure. So I'm coming under that little extra loop in the back. But the main thing is I want to come down through the middle of the stitch, grab the yarn and pull it through to the back. And now that extra little stitch we've created looks just like the tops of the other stitches, and it's a very seamless looking join instead of a slip stitch, which can make a bump. Now we're all done, and all that's left to do is weave in our ends and wash and block if you want to. If you feel that your coaster is larger than you like, you can make another one using a smaller hook. If you feel that it's smaller than you like, switch to a larger hook. The exact size doesn't matter so much as making sure that all of the coasters in the set are the same size. And that's how you make the summer sunset coaster. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, or leave me a comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel for more great videos. Thanks for watching.